Guys, this is the second to last video for Nasty November before the drop party. Get in the Discord. All of the information is in there. There's one more video tomorrow, and that's when the drop party's happening. So get in the Discord. Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, guys, is going over a Leagues deep dive. It's called the Raging Echo League. And we're going to go over everything that we know so far. I'm going to mention everything that I'm going to be picking in my first account. I'm going to be making several accounts throughout this league. I'm going to be making my main account, which I'll be having fun doing raids and stuff on. And then my goal for this league, for those that haven't heard yet, is to complete every single task. Not just in the 3 regions that I pick, in the league. I'm going to make several accounts and try to complete every single completable task. Which means I should get 141,000 points over my accounts. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. But what we're going to do is go over everything that we know so far. Let's go to the Raging Echoes League over here. And we're just going to go through all of the relics that we know so far and all of the areas and stuff like that. So in terms of areas, what I'm going to be picking, I think is Fremennik, Mauritania, and Turanwin. I think they are going to be my original picks for the first account. That's going to allow me, number one, if I pick Fremennik straight up, to get 99 construction. If I go to Turanwin with the thieving relic, that's going to allow me to get 99 crafting, 99 thieving, and stuff like that. Super easy. And Mauritania, obviously, for TOB is going to be super fun. But what you can do is get up the Gearscape Discord. Not Discord, the Gearscape website. This is a very, very cool website. I'll leave a link to it in the description of the YouTube video. I'll copy it right now for the Twitch chat since we're live. What you can do is go into Leagues and you can set up your relics that you're going to go for. Let's say you're going to go for tier 5s in melee and range. And then let's say you want to take on Verzik Vatur, right? Verzik Vatur, and then you pick your regions. So I'm going to be going Fremennik, I'm going to be going Mauritania, and I'm going to be going Turanwin. And then you just click Find Setup, and bang, just like that, it's going to give you the best DPS setup in your regions with the items that you have. So as you can see, I get 11.5 DPS. If I cut this down to be a 4 and a 6, and we find the setup, my DPS goes up to a 12.8 because I get the extra DPS from the melee relic. But then if we go to our range setup, this is our best in slot range setup for Verzik Vatur with Ruby bolts. Because obviously Verzik is very good. I think this is phase 1. Hang on. If we go to phase 3 in hard mode, and then we go find best setup again, it'll be Tebow. It'll be Tebow in here, and then Mage, obviously the Shadow with the full Virtus. So this will give you the best gear setup for each of your respective styles in the regions that you choose with the relics that you choose and stuff like that. So camera's in the way. Oh shit, my fault. Yeah, but as you can see, it's a very, very, very useful tool. But given that, I've ran the DPS calcs. I'm mostly going to be picking Fremennik, Mauritania, and Turanwin. As far as I'm concerned, those are the ones that I'm going to be picking. In terms of the Echo items, the Drygore blowpipe is actually worse than the regular blowpipe if you pick Turanwin and get the tier 5 ranged relic. Sorry, if you pick Fremennik, you get the Amulet of the Monarchs and the Emperor Ring, and that gives you range damage bonus, which makes the blowpipe 2 range damage bonus more effective than the Drygore blowpipe. So this is essentially a useless weapon. It's better regardless. So there you have it. The Drygore blowpipe, no good. No good. Do not pick the desert for the Drygore blowpipe. Pick the desert because you want to do TOA, but don't do it for the Echo item. Unless you go Desert Fremi. Of course, if you go Desert Fremi, yeah, but then you miss out on Turanwin. You miss out on Turanwin, which is great for melee. So if you want to be straight ranged build, sure. Desert Fremi is a great way to go. But you miss out on a lot of hybriding, I suppose, by missing out on round one there. The dog sword for the echo item. It's a meme, realistically. Unless like all of the damage bonuses stack and you go with last recoil. Oh, I can't say this word. Last recall as your relic. I don't think the dog sword's going to be very effective. It's super reliant on having special attacks. Otherwise, it's kind of just a meme weapon. But it will be very fun to use. There's no doubt about that. The Thunder Kopesh and the Thousand Dragon Ward sounded really cool when it first came out. But unfortunately, all the DPS calcs are showing that this is kind of a meme as well. Wilderness, probably not going to be a good region to pick. Mauritania, Gloves of the Damned. So Mauritania, you go and you get TOB, which is the greatest fucking raid in the game. And you get the Gloves of the Damned, which is cool because that means you get to go have fun with Darox. They're basically Barrow's gloves. You get to have fun with all of the other sets. And you get access to Raxor, you get access to Nightmare, Barrows, like I said. Yeah, I think Mauritania just for Tob is going to be a great one. But I think if you're picking just one raid region, you will have a better time in terms of like bosses if you go with Karen. I don't know. It's tough, man. The raid regions are kind of just like, it's tough because you can only pick one, right? Well, you can pick two, but you're better off just picking one. Fremennik, this is a must pick. This is a 100% must pick region this time around. You cannot play this league and not pick Fremennik. The Amulet of the Monarchs and the Emperor's Ring are just too crazy. 15 strength bonus, 15 range strength bonus, 10% mage bonus, 10 prayer bonus, insane accuracy and defense stats, and then the Emperor's Ring is the exact same. 30 strength bonus in a ring and an amulet. It's crazy. You absolutely must pick Fremennik this raid. There is no two ways about it. If you don't pick Fremennik, you are trolling. You have Kandarin. We're not even gonna entertain this. Okay, we are not going to entertain this. Devil's Element, no. Tyranwin, the Gauntlet, the Crystal Blessing. Like I said, if you go on Gearscape, most of the time you will find that the Crystal Blessing with Crystal Armor is more DPS than Torva. So picking Tyranwin's good. You get the Gauntlet as an Echo boss. You get full Crystal for your range gear before you get a T-Bow. You get Zolcano. It's like you get Zolrol, which is a great boss to do. And then, of course, if you pick the Golden God Relic, you have unlimited money. So you can do the Crystal Crown. And then you also, if you pick the Thieving Relic here in Tyranwood, you can pickpocket elves for unlimited crystal shards, which will allow you to get 99 crafting and 99 smithing in less than an hour using crystal armor. So for me, Tyranwin's a great pick, especially for speed running the end game. Karen, you get the Hospori. There's so many bosses on Karen they could have picked for an Echo boss, and they picked Hospori. I don't like that. And the Nature's Reprisal, it's a great all-around weapon, but it is not a good weapon for anything, if that makes sense. It's not a good melee weapon. It's not a good ranged weapon. It's not a good mage weapon, but it's a one-slot, all-around decent weapon for all of those. So I don't think Karen's a good pick. Especially since you get all the Virtus pieces in any region. You get it in the starting region with the Leviathan. So you get full Virtus. And like the upgrade to Ancestral is just only slight this league. And you get Levy's only Desert. What one do you unlock in the first region then? What one do you unlock in the first region? None? Most of the time you're going to find yourself something to kill, all right? Most of the time. I'm sure you're going to find it hard to pick regions that don't have Virtus, all right? Come on, guys. Let me have this one. And then Soul Heredet, Valamor, the Grand Master Echo boss. Sunlight Spear and Sunlight Braces, kind of a meme. But the Soul Heritage Echo Boss Grandmaster is gonna be insane, dude. I cannot wait to fight this boss. Obviously, these are going to be my first 3 picks for the first account. But as I mentioned, I'm going to be making 3, maybe 4 accounts this league to try out every single region. And I'm going to be doing every single task. So I will be fighting Grandmaster Soul Heritage Echo Boss at some point. And I am so excited. But for the most part, I think Fremenic is the only must pick. And then everything else is kind of just whatever you want to do, man. Figure out where your friends are going and just join them, man. Because playing leagues with your friends is so much more fun than playing it alone. But Fremenic, definite must pick. Everything else, it's kind of, you can pick whatever you want. You can pick whatever you want. But very, very cool. The Amulet of the Monarchs and the Emperor's Ring. So getting on to combat masteries now. How to pick your combat masteries. It kind of just depends on your playstyle. It's going to be a lot of it depends. It's going to be a lot of it depends in this league. This passive tier 6 effect is basically useless. It's whatever. It's not deep at all. So you don't need a tier 6. What most people are looking at the moment is doing a tier 5 ranged melee build and fucking off magic. So you don't really need the bonus damage you get for the tier 6 melee. And you also don't need to never miss with range because you're already so accurate, right? You're already so accurate. I've just had a question. What if Echo bosses pray all 3 styles, though? They will not make a boss that you can't kill unless you have tier 6. They will not make a boss. I'll repeat that. They will not make a boss that you can't kill unless you have tier 6. You will always be able to kill it. So tier 5 looks pretty good. You can also do a tier 6, tier 3, tier 1. Because if you go 6 melee, 3 ranged, you still get a 1-tick blowpipe. And you still get the slight buff to magic there. So I'm torn about whether I'm going to go 5-5 or 6-3-1. I still don't know which way I'm going to go. But one thing is for certain. As soon as you start this league, ladies and gentlemen, if you look down here, this is how you unlock combat mastery points. Defeat a giant immediately. Spawn in, run to Edgeville, go into the Edgeville dungeon, kill a hill giant, and you immediately save 95% of your weapon charges. That's the first thing you need to do when you log into this league, is immediately go kill a hill giant. And then you start saving all your runes straight away. But yeah, it really just depends on your playstyle, what you're going to go with for a 5-5 or a 6-3-1. I don't think the magic one is that good at all. I misread this the other day when I was talking about it. You'll hit your max hit if they have less than your max hit. So like your max hit's going to end up being like 100. So if anything has less than 100 hit points, you automatically kill it. Whereas last leagues, you would hit 3 100s in a row. So it's like, yeah, I don't think Mage is very good in this league, but you will at least want to get one tier 5. I don't think going like 4-4-2 is good or 3-3-4. I think you want to have at least one tier 5. At least one tier 5. But then again, who knows? It's all about playing the league how you want to play it. Getting on to the relics, ladies and gentlemen. These have been the cause of much debate throughout the last couple of weeks with all of the releases going on. And quite frankly, this is going to be the hardest league ever to pick your relics. It's going to be the hardest league ever to pick your relics. Now, in the first tier, you have the Power Miner. Grants the Echo Pickaxe, blah, blah, blah. This is great for mining and smithing. The Lumberjack, you get the Echo Axe. It's great for woodcutting, fire making, and fletching. And then the Animal Wrangler, it's great for fishing, cooking, and hunting. So, from this tier, I think this is the only very, very clear tier so far. The Animal Wrangler shits all over the rest of both of these. I think you're crazy if you don't pick the Animal Wrangler here. especially considering the fact that Karamba ones exist. What's up, Silence? Especially considering the fact that Karamba ones exist, and that's a fishing spot that never moves. You click on that fishing spot, and you will fish for 20 minutes until your character gets logged out. You do one action on your client, your character will stay in for another 20 minutes. This is insane. So I think this is the only easy pick. That being said, I'll be picking this on one account, my main account. Then I'll be picking it on one alt. And then the other two alts, I'm going to do a power miner and a lumberjack. So that I have all three of these. And I get to use every relic in the league. But I think Animal Wrangler is most definitely your first pick when you log in. But that being said, Leagues is all about playing it how you want to play it. And if you don't like, as Taylor has just said in the Twitch chat here, if you don't like mining and smithing, pick the mining one. Pick the mining relic. If you don't like woodcutting, pick the woodcutting relic. If you don't like fishing, pick the fishing one. You know what I mean? It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. But that, I think, is the Animal Wrangler, is the obvious choice for the first one. Then we have the teleport tier. We assume this is going to be tier 2. We don't know for sure this is going to be tier 2, but it was tier 2 for the last league. So we have Fairy's Flight. This is a meme. I don't think anybody is going to be picking this league. I think this will be the 0.1%er that nobody picks. Then you have a tough choice. You have the Bank Heist. Players are given a banker's briefcase, which allows them to teleport to any deposit box, bank, or bank chest. This item ignores wilderness teleport restrictions. This item cannot be used to teleport into an area which is not unlocked. As the player is given an item, upon unlocking this relic, it must be unlocked in a bank. Very cool. So you can teleport to any bank. Obviously, there's quite a few banks across the world of Gielinor, but you would mainly use this to teleport to a bank. And that's the reason why I don't think this is better than the Clue Compass. Players are given a Clue Compass, allowing teleport to any stash unit and follow the Bard. The compass can be also used to teleport to the current clue step if they have one. It does not work on clue steps that require killing a certain NPC. This item ignores wilderness teleport restrictions. This item cannot be used to teleport to an area which is not unlocked. So, because you can teleport to any stash unit, if you look up where the stash units are in game, you can see that there is actually a stash unit right next to the Shiloh Village Bank. If we scroll down here, let me just control F real quick. Shiloh, here we go. Creating the Shiloh Village Bank. We get this map up and you can see right here, literally one step away from a bank is a stash unit. So you can immediately teleport to a bank after you've done the quest to unlock that. And then if you scroll out to the world map, look how many different locations there are for teleports to a stash unit. There are so many unreal teleports to locations where stash units are. And then you're able to use fairy rings anyway. You don't need Fairy's Flight. You just need a Drayman staff. So I think for me personally, the Clue Compass is a no-brainer here as well. But you can definitely make an argument for Bank Heist. Then we have the Total Recall versus Banker's Note tier. We don't know what tier this is going to be. It's probably going to be either 3 or 4. But this is the tier. This is the tier that has caused much debate throughout the community. And to be completely honest with you, there's no correct answer. There's no right answer when it comes to this one. Total Recall. Players are given the Crystal of Echoes, allowing the following. Players can store any single coordinate alongside their hit points, prayer, and special attack energy. Players may teleport back to the coordinates at any later time, restoring their stats to the saved ones. And then the Banker's Note. Players are given a Banker's Note, which allows players to use notable items on it to turn them into banknotes or unnote them. Items must be used on the Banker's Note. The Activate option allows players to note and unnote items in one action with a quantity of the player's choosing. An item must be first be used on the Banker's Note in order for this to work. Players can customize how many items the Banker's Note will note and unnote using quantity options. So, Total Recall is, I would say, the pick for the casual player. I think if you're casually playing leagues and you're not sweating it out and you're not trying to get points and you're not trying to multi-skill, you're just trying to play for a little bit of fun, I think Total Recall is the play because you get to teleport straight back, use your special attack, teleport straight back, use your special attack, teleport straight back, use your special attack. You can infinitely kill bosses like this. So for a casual player, I think Total Recall is definitely the answer. Now for a sweat like myself, Banker's Note is probably going to be the best because you can unnote food, you can unnote supplies, and you can unnote skilling supplies. So you could be killing bosses while you're skilling, 0 time and a whole bunch of skills. So if you're going for high points, Banker's Note clears, dude. And I don't even think it's close. If you're going for points, Banker's Note is the option. But I think for most players, the casual players, Total Recall is going to be the option, I think. But yeah, this is a tough choice. Regardless, this is a very, very tough choice. With Total Recall, it resets HP, prayer, and special just by tallying. We don't need an altar. Exactly, Ferd. Exactly. So you could run, let's say I have Total Recall. You could special attack. You could set your Crystal of Memories here, right? You run over here. You use your special attack on this imp over here. And then you teleport back to here with 100% special attack energy. And you can do that anywhere that's not an instance. So Total Recall, very good for the casual player, I would say. Very good for the casual player. Wonder if there's any Total Recall reset Darox to 1 HP shenanigans. That's also another option. You could reset your hit points to 1. You could walk into a boss room, smack a boss, teleport outside, run in, smack a boss. There's so many options. There's so many options. But personally, I'm going to be going Banker's Note. Just because it's a little bit better for multi-skilling and stuff like that. But I definitely will have one account that has Total Recall just so I can try it out. It'll probably be the account that I get the dog sword on because I think that would be really cool to use the dog sword in collaboration with the Total Recall. So next tier, we have the Grimoire versus the Overgrown versus something. We haven't got this last reveal yet, so we don't know. We don't know what the last one is going to be here, but Grimoire, you'll receive the Arcane Grimoire. This item can be used to freely swap between spell books. The Grimoire acts as a Book of Dead. Additionally, when you select this relic, you will unlock access to all prayers and spells, regardless of area, quest, or diary requirements. The Overgrown grants the Leprechaun's Vault, which allows access to the Seed Vault from anywhere in the world. You'll gain the following benefits to farming. Crops will never die. When planting a seed, it has a 75% chance to not be consumed. When a seed fully grows, if your seed vault has another seed of the same type, it will harvest the patch for you, then replant the seed. Automatically replanted seeds have ultra compost added, whether or not you have any available. So, I think this one is a pretty obvious choice here as well. I think Grimoire is the obvious choice. Everything in the league is already so fast. You're never gonna run out of potions. You get a whole bunch of seed and herb drops from everything. You're never, ever going to run out of potions. So I think unless you're going for points, if you're going for points, the Overgrown is probably a great pick. It's probably a good pick. But if you're not going for points, you're just a casual player, you're just having fun, I think the Grimoire will be the pick. You get access to Piety, you get access to Rigor, you get access to Augury, you get a Book of the Dead, you get to freely swap between any spell book. I believe this also gives you access to the, gives you access to Ancients, gives you access to the Karen spellbook, Arceus spellbook. So I think this is an obvious pick for fun. If you're going to kill bosses, this is the pick for points. This is the pick for points because you can still do all of the bosses without the Grimoire. So if you're going for points, Overgrown is probably the play. But if you're not grinding for points, I think it's a no-brainer that Grimoire is the one to pick. Then we have tier we don't know. Tier we don't know. Golden God. This is an insane relic. This could potentially go here against Overgrown. It could go here against Overgrown and the Grimoire, the Golden God. I'll have to look at that after this, Sneaky. I'm recording for YouTube at the moment. So if this goes up against against Grimoire and Overgrown, it's a much tougher choice. High and low alchemy spells have no rune cost or level requirement. Items give 15% more gold and have a 65% chance to not be consumed when the spell is cast. When alchemy spells are cast on a stack of items, the spells will automatically be recast over time until the stack is depleted or moved. Actions that would normally cancel alchemy, such as walking or attacking, will not, whilst it is automatically casting. You gain the following benefits to prayer. 20,000 GP can be offered at prayer altars in exchange for prayer XP, equivalent to a dragon bone. This respects altar XP modifiers. All items purchased from select shops can be noted, provided the items can be noted at all. This is an insanely powerful relic. This is Fire Sale from last league with the prayer bonus added to it. This is Fire Sale plus prayer. So if this is an early game, well, it's obviously going to depend on what it's up against, right? It will depend on what it's up against. But if this is an early game relic, if we see it in one of the early tiers, this is an obvious pick. It's so good. You can AFK 50 million magic. You can AFK 50 million prayer because you can just use a whole stack of GP on a prayer altar. And you can use stuff like, if you have Fremenic, if you get condensed gold, that you can buy from a shop. You can buy condensed gold from a shop at 10 million GP a piece. And then you alch it for 4.8 million. You've got a 50% chance to save the item. You alch it for 15% more. You profit like $1 million gold. Probably more than $1 million gold every single condensed gold that you alch. So as you stack up on more and more gold, you can get more and more condensed gold in the inventory. Bang, 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 bang. All of a sudden, you've got a max cash stack, and you can use that to get yourself 50 million prayer. Because it will take... You've got a 16 times multiplier on the third tier of relic. So even if you wanted to go from 1 to 50 million prayer, which is... what is 50 million prayer? Level 115? 114? 113. 50 million prayer on a lit gilded altar, dragon bones. It would take you 206,000 divided by 16 times, 12,000 dragon bones multiplied by 20,000 coins. It would cost you 257 million GP to go from 1 prayer to 50 million prayer using this relic. 257 million GP. That's it. That's it. Plus, you can bank... Like, this banks so many different skills. You can buy runes, sell them for Tokkul, and use the Tokkul gem shop to get all of the gems for 99 crafting. You can use all of the coins to get magic stones and stuff from the Fremenic region for construction. There's so many different skills that you can buy. If you pick this relic. So it's going to have to be up against something crazy to not pick this one. Whatever this is up against has to be absolutely nuts, or this is 100% just the easiest pick of anyone's life. Anyone's life. Onto the utility tier. This was the most recent release. This is the most recent release. Upon choosing this relic, you will receive the Forager's Pouch. Forager's Pouch will provide the following benefits in your inventory when equipped. When you gather resources from woodcutting, fishing, mining, and hunting, the Forager's Pouch will find and store a random grimy herb, limited to herbs your herb lore plus 25 can clean, whilst also providing a small amount of token experience when one is found. The Forager's Pouch will only find herbs it has rooms to store, but it will always attempt to give you a herb you can receive. The Forager's Pouch works just like a herb sack and shares inventory with it. Additionally, you can gain the following benefits to herb lore when crafting potions. Secondary ingredients have a 90% chance to not be consumed. This stacks additively with other sources. Created potions contain 4 doses instead of 3. The Corner Cutter. Upon choosing this relic, you have a pair of Sage's Greaves. Whilst equipped, Sage's Greaves will grant agility experience based on your agility level when you run. Players will always succeed performing actions for agility. Completing an agility course grants 2 completion counts and 25% bonus experience. Marks of Grace will also spawn 10,000 coins. Double the quantity of pyramid tops, hallowed marks, Brimhaven vouchers, crystal shards. When choosing this relic for dodgy deals, you gain the following benefits to thieving. Pickpocketing an NPC will also pickpocket all NPCs of the same type in an 11 by 11 square, granting extra loot for each NPC pickpocketed. 100% success rate on all thieving checks. Automatically re-pickpocket an NPC or stall until you can no longer do so. Items obtained from pickpocketing are noted. Maximum coin pouch count increased by 3 times. Stalls never deplete. So, this one is a tough one. Sorry, Guard Dog has just asked. Everyone seems to think that Golden God makes it free like Fire Sale. No, it's infinite money because you can buy things and alch them for a profit. So it is infinite money, but it's not free to buy everything. You'll be able to get a max cash stack in less than a day if you pick this, right? Which means you have infinite money to buy as many things as you want. So it is infinite money. It is infinite money. But from this utility tier, okay? You don't profit, though, unless it doesn't consume. Guys, let me give you a lesson on a little thing that I like to call expected value. The EV in EVscape stands for expected value. Let me teach you a little something, okay? If we get up the rune plate body, we'll just use this as an example. The rune plate body. Now, you can buy this from a shop. You can buy this from... Where's the shop? Oziak. You can buy it for 84,500 GP. Okay? You buy it for 84,500 GP. 84,500. Now, this might not actually work with rune plate bodies. I didn't realize they were so expensive, but this will most definitely work with some items. We'll use this as an example. Hopefully, this will work, but it might not. Now, we all know that if we have a 50% chance to save an item, that's essentially like we have double the amount, right? So because you have a 50% chance to save the first one, and then you have a 50% chance to save it a second time, you have a 50% chance to save it a third time, a 50% chance to save it, right? So with a 50% chance, on average, you double your money. With 65%, it would be even more. Now, let's just assume we only get double, and they alch for 39,000 GP. But you get 15% more GP. So you multiply it by 1.15. Whoa. 39,000 multiplied by 1.15. You're going to get 44,850 GP per alch, right? And on average, you'll get more than 2. Let's just say it's 2 for the sake of simplicity, because I can't be bothered figuring out what it actually is. You get 89,700 GP on average, even if it was a 50% chance from a rune plate body, and you buy it for 84,500 GP, which means 84,500 GP, you're going to profit 5.2 thousand GP every single time you alch one rune plate body that you've bought from the shop. You can buy them noted, and your alching never interrupts. Alching is a 5-tick action in an hour. There is 6,000 ticks. So you can alch 1,200 times in an hour, and you profit 5,400 GP each time. You will make 6.4 million GP per hour alching the rune plate body. You can get unlucky on the condensed gold and be out the money if that first 65% doesn't work. Okay, so get more than 10 mil from rune plate bodies. Like, guys, it's so easy. This is infinite money. It is infinite money from this. It's such an easy pick unless it's up against something else insane. Now, back to the utility tier. Back to the utility tier, okay? Back to the utility tier. The friendly forager, I don't think is very good because it can only store 30 of each type of herb. So you can't like super AFK and just stack up infinite herbs. You're going to have to go to the bank at some point. You're going to have to go back to the bank at some point. So I don't know. I don't think the friendly forager is going to be too good. The corner cutter. Upon choosing this relic, you get the Sage's Greaves. So this is really good for agility. You hate agility. You hate agility. It's not fun at all. But I don't think it's that great. I don't think it's that great when you're up against dodgy deals. Did you see dodgy deals is 3 mil agility XP and thieving XP per hour? How is dodgy deals thieving XP? Agility XP. How is it agility XP? Talk to me. How is dodgy deals agility XP? The 11 by 11 thieving at drift nets goes crazy? What? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Let me get the arcane message. Okay. We'll have a sniff at that. But I was going to say, I think Dodgy Deals is the best one anyway. 100% chance to pickpocket. If you can pick Asgarnia as one of your regions, you can get the ice gloves. And you can AFK Zars for your thieving and get a whole bunch of gems and 50 million thieving XP so easily. Everything's noted. If you go to Ranwin, you can AFK the elves. Stalls never deplete. I think most likely this is going to be the best choice in this tier. The question is, what tier is it going to be? Because I can see so many of these. Like, this is tier 1. I can see this being tier 2. I could see this being tier 2 or tier 3. I can see this being tier 3 or 4. I can see this being tier 3 or 4. I can see this being tier 3 or 4. Like, it's tough. I don't know, man. This is the arcane message. Here for thieving versus agility relic discussion. Just confirm that thieving relic works for underwater thieving. 2.2 mil agility XP per hour without flippers. 5 to 6 mil per hour with flippers. I don't understand. I've never done this before. But there you go. 6 mil an hour for agility XP with flippers. So with that being said, I don't think Friendly Forager is good. You're not going to run out of herbs, guys. You're really not going to run out of herbs. And considering the fact that you can use underwater agility and thieving, I think that's an easy choice. I think you're going to be doing dodgy deals. So yeah, that's an easy pick there. I started this video by saying I think this is going to be the toughest league. I think this is going to be the toughest league to pick relics. And now that I've gone through this, I think that it's going to be the easiest. Now that I've gone through, I think it's Animal Wrangler, Clue Compass, Banker's Note, Grimoire, Golden God, Dodgy Deals. Bang. I'm set. I think it's going to be the easiest league to pick ever. All right, guys, I've had to come back in post-production here because I'm releasing this video 2 days later than I thought I was going to, and 2 more relic reveals have come out. First of all, we have the highest tier. I think this is going to be tier 7. Let me just quickly scroll back. We got, for sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, this will most likely be tier 7, and I think there'll be one more tier above this as the last release in 2 days. I think the last release is coming out. So this is probably going to be the tier 7 relics. And we have here Last Stand. You gain the Last Stand ability, which works as follows. 0 damage. If damage will reduce you to 0 HP, it will reduce to 1 HP instead. Your combat stats are instantly boosted to 255, but begin rapidly draining. For the next 16 ticks after this ability is activated, you cannot be reduced to 0 HP. When the effect ends, all incoming damage is nullified and the player is healed based on the damage they dealt over the last 16 ticks. Once this ability is used, it cannot be used again until you die or 3 minutes have passed. Now that's it. I don't need to read the other 2 relics because this is the one. Like, it's just the one. I will read the other 2, but Guardian, basically it's a thrall that has a max hit of 13. It is most likely going to be the highest DPS out of all of these options. This is going to be the biggest DPS increase to your setup, but it's boring. It's just like a thrall in the main game. You're going to see the super sweats using the Guardian. And then, of course, you have Specialist, which is gain the following to benefits of special attack. All special attacks are 20% and have 100% accuracy. Each failed accuracy roll with a special attack, you gain 10% special attack energy back. And whenever you kill an NPC, you restore 15% special attack energy. So basically, you can just continue speccing for your entire gameplay experience. But that being said, while this is going to be cool, the Specialist is going to be cool with like the dog sword or something. If you take Total Recall, you get infinite special attack anyway. So it's not really worth having the Specialist. The Guardian will be the best DPS increase, but it's just a thrall. Do you really play leagues just to summon a thrall? Like, let's be honest. Last Stand, not being able to die once every 3 minutes, and then your combat stats are boosted to 255. People have calculated with the Darok's Axe and the Gloves of the Damned here, you're going to be able to hit a 338 every 3 ticks. Insane. Last stand 100% has to be the play here. I can't see a world where it's not. You know what I mean? Like this just, it's got to be the one. I'm 100% going with this. And then, of course, this morning we had another release, and that is Reloaded. Choose another relic from any previous tier. Now, this one definitely throws a spanner in the works, because if you go back to the previous tiers, people are going to be thinking, oh, should I get Bank Heist? Should I get Clue Compass? I don't think it's really worth having both. So not the biggest call here. And then if you go back to this one, this is where really the first tier, nobody's really guessing between. Animal Wrangler is definitely the one. But the second tier here is most definitely the one that you're going to be looking at, because Dodgy Deals and Corner Cutter are both really, really good. Friendly Forager, not really something you're going to be looking at. But being able to have both Dodgy Deals and Corner Cutter will be crazy. The thing I see as the issue, though, with picking the previous one is with Dodgy Deals, you have that underwater agility method that we were talking about previously in the video, where you get 2 to 3 mil agility XP per hour anyway. So it's only going to take 5-6 hours to get to 99. Is that really worth using an entire relic on to save 5-6 hours time? Not really, as far as I'm concerned. So I actually don't think Reloaded is a good relic to pick. It sounds cool. If this was a tier 8 relic, if this was all the way down here and dropped in the last tier, this would be the most overpowered relic in the game. You would pick it every single time, and you'd go back and pick something else from one of the other tiers. You'd be able to pick Grimoire and Overgrown. You'd be able to pick Last Stand and Specialist, you know? But considering it's only a tier 4, and the previous ones aren't that great, I don't think this is going to be a choice over Golden God. For me personally, maybe for your play style it works out. You'd much rather AFK the agility. But yeah, for me, I'm still picking Golden God here. You get prayer, you get magic, and you get infinite money for construction, crafting, you know, all the other skills that you can buy. So for me, still super easy here. Still super easy. But all in all, it's going to be a fun league, guys. There's so many different options you can go with. And I'm going to end this video by saying this, okay? This is the league to make more than one account. If you've never played 2 accounts before, now's the time to try it out. You are going to be able to reach the end game in less than a week. You will get to the end game in less than a week. Raids have multiple drops for everyone, so you're going to be able to get your mega rares so quickly. Don't get a week in and think, oh, I wish I tried something else, and then not do it. It goes for 8 weeks. This is the league to try everything out, because it's going to be so quick. If you pick a relic and you get relic regret, make a new account. Spend a bond, make a new account. Pay the $11. It's definitely going to be worth making multiple accounts. I'm going to be making 4 or 5 accounts this league just so I can try everything out, because it's going to be so quick. If you start the league and you go get 10K and then you just go defeat a giant and you save your runes, you can just AFK with mind runes to get magic levels for points. There's so much stuff you can do AFK while you play your main account on the side to be caught up on points by the time you want to switch back to it. 100% make more than one account. Enjoy the league for the 8 weeks that it's out, and don't just burn out immediately, because it's going to be quick to burn out in this league. You will finish very quickly, and then you'll be sat there with your dick in your hands going, now what? Make a second account. No way my camera just turned off. No way in the middle of my point. No way that just happened in the middle of my point. That's